conversation with one of my managers, just like thinking about where I want to go and where I in life, that is. I mean, I'm 32 now, going on 33, which is I know old. But I was thinking, like, I've been in my role now about 12 months, a little over 12 months now. I'm still trying to learn the business as best I can, but I do want to develop. I do want to like move on and see what's available. That's the biggest thing. Is like I really want to see what's available, and it's something I'm always striving for. Is like what's the next step? Like no matter what I'm doing, like jobs and stuff like that. You know, I should say someone I worked with in my last place put it quite well that I'm one of these people who will never be happy doing what they do. Not in like a negative sense of I just don't enjoy my job, because I do quite enjoy my job, to be honest. But it's more like it's always looking for where I'm going to go on to, and I'll never just be like content with just sitting there. Like, well, like some people are quite happy to do the 9 to 5 and go in, do their hours, go home, then rinse and repeat. But for me, it's like, oh, I want to broaden my knowledge and my experiences and stuff like that. So I'm always asking managers and other people in my business and other businesses, like previous employment and when I was in the RAF and stuff like that, I was like, what can I do to move up and move on and go on to the next thing? So when I was in the RAF, it was like, right, so I want to develop. How can I develop to put me in line for promotion? So I got put on something called an on-the-job trainer course. So that was quite good. So I then became the person who trained other individuals on how to perform my day-to-day duties, like the maintenance on the assets that we looked after. And then from there I moved into other areas. It did give me a little bit more of a development pathway, shall we say. Then once I'd left the military and I moved into my next role, I was constantly like, is there any courses where I can improve myself? Is there any courses where I can do this? Is going to do that? Like, I don't mind paying for it. I get that. Like some companies, I don't mind signing something to say that I'll stay with the company for so long afterwards because they've invested in me, so I should in turn work back that investment. I didn't mind doing that, but they were very reluctant, and it kind of felt like then, it's like, to me, it starts ringing alarm bells. Like, it sounds a bit more like a dead end job. So I pushed them over it, and finally they agreed to start giving me Six Sigma training. Six Sigma is like projects and like continuous improvement stuff, like learning how to create new ways to streamline work and remove non-value-added activities and all these buzzwords that you have to learn while you're doing it. So I started learning that, and while I was learning that, I did get a promotion to an assistant team leader role, which was quite good. I was quite happy with that. But it took that long to get there that I'd already like lost hope, if that makes sense. Like it was firmly in my mind that this job is a dead end job, and there's no progression here. They don't see my potential or what I believe I have to give to them. So I started applying for roles elsewhere. It just so happened while I was doing all this training that another role became available in a different business. So then moved over, started working there, and one of the selling points that they said to me was, when you come and work for us, small business at the moment, but as we grow, you will grow with the business, and you'll move up within your department. We've got plans for you to become the head of that department and to take lead on everything that's going on there. And I was like, this is exactly what I want to hear from someone who I want to work for. Now, I worked for them for 4 years, about 4 years, And during that time, the business did like increase exponentially. So we ended up tripling the amount of income we were generating. But the headcount was never increased. But the workload was. And it was just like, it was getting more and more stressful. And like I said in my last job about mental health, my mental health at that time was terrible. It wasn't until I left that business I realised like just how bad it was and just how much work was affecting me as well as other things, obviously. Like you go back and like, I'll put a card up here. Go back and look at that. Watch that video and I talk about like those other things that were playing on my mind as well. But yeah, I really was struggling, and the workload was getting piled on. I was doing more and more work, and didn't feel like it was appreciated. Didn't feel like it was being noticed. And I always like keep my resume out there, or CV as we call it in the UK. I always keep that out there, just to keep my options open. Like someone might come along and just go, "Oh, are you interested in working for us?" Which just so happened, like I had a family friend who said, "Have you ever considered working for this company?" I was like, "No." So I had a quick look on the website, seen a job, applied for it, got it, and that's what I'm doing now. And that jump was not only financially a huge step for me and my family, but it was also an eye-opener for how much I was struggling, because I believed that I wasn't being noticed, and I wasn't that from what, like I said before, I perceive as my potential wasn't being utilised, and I wasn't getting the development. Like in my last role, I asked if I could go on courses, would the company sponsor me, or could I get a day release to go and do these courses, which I thought was reasonable. I developed a presentation to show how it could positively affect the company, and I was just met with we don't have the budget, we don't have the training budget to facilitate it. Now I wasn't talking like thousands or anything. I was like a few £100 in courses that I like once again said I'm happy to sign a waiver to say that I'll stay with the company for say 2 years as an example, to broaden to broaden my knowledge, but also to benefit the business in me being able to carry out my tasks better, or implement new ways of working from what I'm learning into new things, which I thought and I believed was all like, it all sounded reasonable, but they clearly disagreed. So yeah, then started working for the company I work for now, and not only was it financially beneficial, the benefits were huge, like crazy, like the amount of benefits I get with this business. The bonus scheme, never had a bonus before because the jobs I worked in never provided one, so then yeah, it's like everything's just like, but yeah, it's so then when I spoke to my manager today about my end of year appraisal, which is coming up soon, we were talking about growth within the business and what I think I need to develop my abilities. And he approached me and asked me like, what do I want to better myself within the business? And I was kind of put on the back foot, because I was like, well, yeah, I do want, like, there is stuff I want to do, but I was like, are you sure? Like, can I have this? It's like, yeah, it's part of the business. If we can put a strong enough business case forward, and I will help you, then we can develop, we can get you on like courses, or even if it's just shadowing a person to learn how their job works and so on and so forth. Then we can find stuff that will help you in your role and develop your role, which I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. So then I was sat there, I was like, what can I ask for that I've been turned down for previously? So I've asked for a management course, like an official kind of accredited one, like MBQ level 2 as we have in Britain. Then I've asked to get my full Six Sigma qualification. I've asked for, I've put it down on like a table to say this is what I want, and this is why I want it. And then I've asked for, because a lot of businesses work with SAP quite closely, especially when you have like maintenance included. So I'm asking for that, like an official SAP course to be able to develop my knowledge within that business, because everything I know about SAP, well, I say almost everything I know about SAP is self-taught. Like, Mr. Google was my best friend for a long time, because in my last place I was the only person who knew how to do my job, so if I didn't know how to do it, there was no help. So I had to quickly learn, like, to develop these skills on my own without any help. So then kind of go to the customer going, I'm really sorry, I don't know how to do this. So Mr. Google, best friend. Still to this day is. If I have a question that I don't know the answer to, or if I have just anything that like pops to mind, the first thing I do, instead of just going to someone, what's this? I'll go, Google, how do you do this? What is the square root of this? How do you work out this formula? And then I've always done it, like, even like as a child. Because I was always quizzical as a child, and I was like, how's this work? How's that work? Like, my mum, still to this day, she constantly tells people that when I was a kid, they had to hide the pens in the house, because all I would do is, because I always wanted to know how they worked, I'd be taking them apart, and then I'd never put them back together. And she always said it was always hilarious, because you just see this pen dismantled on the table, and she was like, oh, for God's sake. Yeah. Well, it was just, so all this like spiel that I've just come up with, it's all because just a conversation with my managers saying, have you thought about how you want to develop within the business? And it's those little things, like, you think to yourself, like, yeah, I want to develop, I want to be better. So that's what it all comes down to in the end. Like, I don't mind sidestepping like to different things, if it means that sidestep will then lead on to progression. So I've come up with a few ideas. I'm going to present them in a couple of weeks to my other manager, who's the one that will actually be carrying out this appraisal. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get something off the back of it, which that'll be incredible. If you can think of anything, like, where in your life this has affected you, like, where you feel like, oh, I reckon I'm good enough to be the next manager, I reckon I'm good enough to move into this department, or I think I should be the best salesperson in the business, and stuff like that, put in the comment below. Just tell me a little bit, like, what your story. I'll be interested to hear it out. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe to this video as well if you want to see more of stuff like this, and don't forget to hit that notification icon, and I'll see you all next time. See you later.